what I see a lot of now is people got spoiled from the past few years, and they think, oh, I should double my money in 3 years, and that's typically isn't the case, but unless you were hitting it like 2020, you got a 2.9% rate, 80% leverage, and rode the market and sold in 2022 early. Other than that, it doesn't usually work that way.
I was reading a newsletter yesterday. The Veterans Affairs, the VA, is encouraging servicers not to foreclose and to continue moratoriums until the end of the year. And I kind of found that newsletter inspiring because it's like, really? I mean, here we are. It's been 4 years since the thing, and we're still doing that. But the question is, as a landlord of hundreds and hundreds of people, do you find the geopolitical and social climate to be impacting kind of the way you operate these units?
Of course, that's something we try to look at when we're looking at location is a landlord-friendly county or city, where some areas it's hard to evict people, and you got people just sitting in your units not paying rent for months and months. So, but that's something we have to keep in mind. So there's a lot to think about. Out of 20 deals, maybe one makes sense usually.
What are some common misconceptions that people have?
What I see a lot of now is people got spoiled from the past few years, and they think, oh, I should double my money in 3 years, and that's typically isn't the case. But unless you were hitting it like 2020, you got a 2.9% rate, 80% leverage, and rode the market and sold in 2022 early. Other than that, it doesn't usually work that way.
Do you think again, internal bias, like 10 years ago, yes, there's been multifamily education circuits out there, but they weren't, 5,000 person events. Now it feels like there's a little bit of that Broadway production when it comes to those. Do you think with that much influx of, I don't want to say dumb money, but I mean, where do you think that has on this landscape?
Well, just like you were saying earlier, let the market handle it. I think the market's going to weed out the people that don't know what they're doing during this time.
Well, as somebody that actively vets sponsors for investment opportunities, probably the best thing I've heard you say is that you're using a local property management company that's been in this market for 15 years. And, just the math is the math. That means they made it through 08 and 09, right? And that tells you that group knows how to manage in up and down markets, or probably more importantly, sideways markets, right? Like, it's really easy, to figure out things going down or going up, right? Because it's kind of, you can't lie to yourself. The sideways markets get really confusing because sometimes your taxes and insurance are going up, but your rents are flat, or your rents may go down a little bit. But, it's like you feel like everything's the same, but mathematically it's not, right? Yeah, it's misleading, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. What one thing moves, something else takes its place, and so you feel like you're standing still, but a lot's changed, though.
So when it comes to issues, it's easy as a if you're the owner and you have bad property management, you just fire them. But what if you're just the investor, and you have a bad deal partner, and the deal partner is mismanaging? What do you do? What do you do in those situations?
Well, first of all, as a limited partner myself in deals, I expect this is what I do. I expect a monthly update. It doesn't have to be a call, but a report on here's the financials, here's how we're doing, and then maybe a quarterly Zoom or conference call just to update the investors on what's going on, get input. So if that's not happening, that find out who the other investors are, and maybe put some pressure on the sponsors.
Is there a way to vote them out, or?
It depends how your deal is structured and written, but there are ways you can.
It's typically not Survivor. You can't just vote someone off the island.
What is it? They put something over the flame,
But I will say this: being in a bad deal, I think and it being a sponsor and some other stuff. Like, what you don't do is immediately threaten lawsuits.
Right.
What you don't do is overreact. What you do is you get on the phone and you ask questions and you ask for clarification and you ask what the plan is, and you try to surmise whether or not you're being told the truth. Right? Is there a plan? Or if the plan is to do nothing, that's a bad plan.
Yeah.